The Committee on Homeland Security will be in order. Without objection, the chair is authorized to declare the committee in recess at any point. Good morning. Free and fair elections are the bedrock of our democracy. As we learned just over 18 months ago, democracy is not something we can take for granted. We must defend it fiercely and protect the institutions that uphold it. So I commend Chairman Thompson for allowing this important hearing on the threats to our elections. When I was first eligible to vote in 2006, election officers across the country were in the process of replacing infrastructure to defend against the greatest threat to elections in recent history, the notorious hanging Chad. Social media was new and largely a way for young college kids to connect. Our adversaries had not figured out how to weaponize our freedom of speech or our technological ingenuity and use it against us. The notion that an armed crowd would descend upon the United States Capitol to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power would have been beyond anyone's wildest imagination. And harassing election officials to alter an election result was something relegated to developing democracies or democracies in decline. But the 2006 election ushered in a new era of threats to our democracy. The Russian government targeted election infrastructure and exploited social media to spread conspiracy theories to tip the scales in favor of one candidate and, more devastatingly, begin to sow doubt among the public about the integrity of our democratic institutions. Committee Democrats recognized the urgent national security threat the Russian government had created and established an election security task force with members of the House Administration Committee to better understand the threats to elections and how to mitigate against them. Unfortunately, we did not get bipartisan support to implement the task force's recommendations, and efforts to enact them into law have languished in the Senate for 2 Congresses. In the meantime, our adversaries redoubled their efforts to sow division among us, and some desperate politicians latched onto the big lie and other conspiracy theories. As a result, 3 days after I was sworn into my first term in Congress, a violent mob stormed the Capitol, holding democracy hostage. Outside Washington, election officials have found themselves victims of harassment and threats in a way that we've never seen before. As a result, election officers across the country are struggling to retain a trained staff, exacerbating the existing challenges associated with administering the 2022 midterm elections. When we were sworn in as members of this chamber, we took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution and the democratic principles enshrined in it. It is incumbent upon all of us to understand the evolving threats to our elections and to defend against them. I look forward to the testimony today, and I thank our witnesses for their participation. Before I recognize the ranking member, on behalf of Chairman Thompson and the members of the committee, I would like to welcome Congresswoman Mayra Flores of Texas to the panel. We look forward to working with you on important matters before this committee.